Hello, good evening. Oh my goodness. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening, Don, Pedro C. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Good evening. We are live. Please, more people should come. More people should join us. We are about to start. Thank you so much for joining me. We are inviting our guests to join us. Wow, thank you so much for joining, Emmanuel Son. Thank you so much. What's wrong? I'm not seeing myself again. Thank you so much. We're inviting our guests to join us. Thank you.
Good evening, Esther.
Hi, good evening, Angel. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
It's a pleasure.
I hope
Happy birthday.
I hope my voice is loud enough, right?
Yes, it is. It is. I trust you can hear mine too.
Yeah, I'm hearing you very well.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure once again. Thank you, Esther.
You're welcome. So, hello, Emmanuel Son. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Okay. Welcome, Angel. Please, I'd love you to um introduce yourself to us.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Like you already know, I'm Angel Leanard, and I'm a writer, and I'm also a public speaker. My aim is to impact people and inspire young people, most especially young people like myself from the African continent, to live lives of meaning, to live lives of purpose. That is my main aim, and that's what excites me through my writings, through my words.
Okay, that is nice. So tonight we'll be talking about how to discover yourself and how to discover your purpose, how to find purpose in life to live a meaningful life. You know, I've come to realize that there are so many youths, they are desperately searching for a significant, like they are desperately searching for who they are, trying to find purpose in life, but yet um it has if they can't find any, because I believe they are searching in a very wrong direction. So joining me tonight, I'd love you to talk on purpose and how do you understand purpose, and let's just have the discussion, a meaningful one.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much once again. And
Yeah.
when you speak about young people who are trying to discover purpose, to walk in their purpose, I actually smile deep down because I was once like that. There was this time of my life when I was so almost frustrated. I had read books from Miles Monroe, watched lots and lots of videos on purpose discovery, but it seems that as though I couldn't discover my purpose. It was very difficult I couldn't place my hand on what exactly my purpose is. So, it can be quite very difficult. There are young people
Yes.
who want lives in purpose, but it seems as though they can't find it. They have tried different methods, check for your passion, ask your friends. And also, it can be very difficult because for some people, they have diverse talents. There are people who can do so many things. So you see that it becomes very difficult to discover that particular thing that is called purpose. All right. So by way of introduction, I'll say that this is the reason for why something was made. Purpose is the reason for the existence of a thing. All right.
Yeah,
I want
you're right.
of a man. This man was grown, he had wealth and affluence, he had a very great job. But then, after some years into the job, he began to feel empty, he began to feel unfulfilled, he was just unsatisfied with life. So that led him into searching for purpose. He started making, searches on how to discover purpose. I think along the line he resigned or something like that. So you can understand now from the story that purpose does not really lie in your job or in what you
Yeah,
studied in the university. You understand? So purpose is that thing which gives you satisfaction, that thing which you do to impact other people, and then you derive fulfillment, you derive satisfaction from it. That is purpose discovery. That is your purpose. All right. Miles Monroe said that the greatest tragedy is not just a life that is cut short, it is actually a life that is lived outside of purpose. And that is it. I agree with this 100%.
yeah. Okay, so that is great. So, based on self-discovering, how were you able to discover yourself at a very tender age? Because I've realized that I went through your timeline. Then I was just like, wow, this angel is actually doing well, and that was what actually attracted me to inviting you to speak with me, because I was like, a lot of people, I know that writing industry is very active these days. Like, a lot of people are now writers. Everybody are writing, but if you go through their timeline, if you really study them, if you take time to study them, you understand those that you understand those that know what they're actually doing, and you know those that are find purpose. You know that those that are doing that thing as a passion, as an interest, and you know those that are just doing it for doing sake. So how were you able to discover yourself at a very tender age?
All right, I want to
It is
say
very difficult to discover oneself, because we young girls, like me, most of the time when I sit, I'll be like, God, I'm so grateful, because most of my mates, they are still struggling. Most of the time they'll be like, how, Esther, how are you able to be like, how are you able to be where you are? Like, what are the things you do? What are the things that you did not do? So tell us, what are the things you do to, like, to discover yourself? Because me myself, I have things that I did, and I have things that I did not do. So tell us how you were able to get to where you are.
all right, thank you so very much for that witty introduction and accolades. I'm really grateful. All right. So first and foremost, like I said, there was a backstory. I began searching frantically for my purpose. I wanted to discover why did God create me? What can I do to make impact? What can I do so that I can inspire other young people, most especially here in the African continent? All right. So, first and foremost, I want to say something that is very, very important for every young person out there who is looking to discover purpose. Purpose discovery is a journey, all right?
Yes,
It is not
you're right.
a destination. Purpose discovery is not just that you sleep in the night and then you wake up and you see yourself right there inside purpose. No, it takes time. I would say that more often than not, all right, purpose discovery is a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. It happens
Okay.
precept by precept, little by little. As you keep on working and as you keep on working in purpose, more and more things which you're supposed to do will begin to be uncovered. All right, that is one thing I want to tell every young person, because more often than not, they may not just discover it all at once. And if they don't understand that purpose discovery is a journey, and not just a destination. It may actually lead them to frustration, and they may become tired and exhausted in this journey of purpose. All right. So, moving into my writings, the first time I ever wrote something that made someone recognize me as someone who is a writer and that gave me confidence in myself as a writer was when I was in SS2 or SS3. I can't really remember. So we went for a competition and I was really scared. It was an essay competition all through. So that particular day, we were given a topic to write on. I've never considered myself a writer prior to that. All I know is when I see quotes, I copy them and I paste them on Facebook because I feel it will inspire other people just the way it
Yeah.
inspired, all right? But then I wrote so much. I wrote so much that I beat every other contestant in that competition by far. So much that they had to even take my paper and they are looking for a place to photocopy it. I can
Mhm.
remember when the teachers coming towards me and she hugged me so tight and she was like, "You're a very good writer." I was just like, young me, SS3. I was just there. I didn't really know. That came and that passed. On and on, I became more active on the social space. All right. And then I started looking for things to do to inspire other people. That is why I went into writing. I didn't really actually start writing by calling myself a writer. I just felt that I would write things that inspire other young people to take action and become better versions of themselves. But along the long run, it also turned into something that earns me money. So I decided that, yeah, I'm a writer and this is it. All right. So you were now asking me what are some of the things I did. I would say that one of the major things I did was reading. I wouldn't say I read so much, but I read enough and I read a lot. I read constantly. My journey towards reading, it didn't just start from my birth. No, first and foremost, my parents raised me with that culture. We have a study in our house packed full of books. But I started reading as an individual in the COVID lockdown, in the COVID year. I was preparing for my WASI examinations. And then I decided that, yeah, I was just going to start reading. I think that year I was able to read 19 books or thereabouts that year. The year after
Hmm.
that, I think I read 25 books and on and on and on. Now, in my journey to reading books, I don't try to compete with people because I've heard of people who read 200 books in a year. But I just feel there is no point pushing myself to that limit. So I read books. I read books on spirituality, relationships, finances. I read far and wide. All right. Another thing that has helped me in my journey to self discovery as a writer is knowledge. Aside from books, you'd see me regularly on YouTube. I watch videos, most especially TEDx videos. I don't know anyone who knows them can Google it or who wants to find it. TEDx videos are videos of very successful people. These are successful people from different walks of life. You'd see entrepreneurs, you'd see writers, you'd see teachers, you'd see soldiers, different people from different walks of life. And they tell you their life story in just 16 minutes or not more than 18 minutes. So you see that there is so much knowledge compressed in just an 18 minutes video. All right. So sometimes instead of reading a 500-page book, I just go and I find a TEDx talk that speaks on so and so topic. And by the time I'm through, you see that I've learned so much. I've learned so much, and there is so much ideas pouring forth in my mind. I'll say these are the two main things I do.
Hmm. That's great. That's awesome. So when it comes to um self-discovering, there are some things like, okay, personal, like me, how I discover my speaking ability. Before, I was a very shy type. Like, I'm introvert in nature. I'm very reserved. I'm a very reserved person. I don't talk. I don't associate with people. But how did I discover my speaking ability? I never knew that I can speak very well. I never even knew I can speak in public because I was always shy of what will people say. But I can remember when I was in school, after when I was in my secondary school, I think so. Uh, when I think that was in my JSS3. So there was a competition they wanted to do. So they were actually looking for people who can stand out and people who they were looking for someone that is bold enough. And then Me, I was so scared of what will people say. I can't do this, I can't do that. People will be staring at me. I can't face someone I at face to face then. But I don't just know what came over me. So I told my class teacher that I was going to do it. And then they gave me the topic and I went to my rehearsal. After some weeks, I went for the competition. I was so surprised that I won the competition. That was not enough. Then in my church, I started doing quiz competition, debate, and all those stuff. But yet, I was unable to discover that. I didn't even know that I'm gifted in that aspect of like speaking in the public. So until I got admission when I was in school, during presentation, I will always speak very well. But one of my weaknesses, when I'm speaking, I will cry in the public. I'll be sharing tears. Even even though everybody will be like, Esther, you did well, congratulations, you did well. I'll not be like, you people did not really understand what I went through there. It was only me and my God that knew what I went through there. So after, is it last year, I sat myself down. I started writing out my interest, my passion, like, Esther, what are the things you are good at? Then I discovered that I'm good at speaking because in school then, during presentation, I realized that whenever there's group presentation, almost all the groups in my department, maybe when it is combined class, mixed lecture, they'll be dragging me, Esther, please come and join our group, Esther, come and join our group, Esther, come and join. And I needed to discover myself, and I needed to sit down and ask myself, what are you good at? In the aspect of writing, I was not born as a writer. I never had an idea of writing or being a writer. Then um, my parents were like, maybe being a writer is just a mere thing that is not a profession that you can boldly say you are a writer. What is a writer that you want to be a writer? Well, how did I discover myself? 2020, during the lockdown. That was when I registered for the Ella class. And then I went through the training. After the training, so she put us on 7 days writing challenge. So when I started the challenge, any day I post my content, you come to my inbox like, wow, Esther, you're actually doing well. You are doing well. I never knew you can write so well. And I was just like, so I'm really good at writing. And then I discovered myself that I can write, I can speak, I can manage, like, self-management also is kind of talent. When you discover yourself, there are some things that self-management, public speaking, all these accounting and mathematics are part of this talent discovering and self-discovering. So I sat myself down. I thought of so many things. I asked myself question like, who am I? What is the reason of my existence? Just like you said, that purpose is the reason why you manufacture. Like, it's just like in a company, they know the reason why they want to produce that product before they produce the product. Because I've come to realize that God is a God of purpose. He knew his purpose of creating each and every one of us before he created us. Then when I sat myself down one night, I cried to God. Like, I was always so shy. Like, I didn't even know why I was there on head. There was a time that I was depressed. I thought of committing suicide because life was so terrible. And I'm this kind of person that a shy person. You cannot even think of maybe
Oh,
giving your attention to me, something like that. So I was just like, no, I needed something to fetch me money. I needed something to fetch me money because I cannot be like begging my parents for money every time. So I started monetizing my writing skill. I started writing, and then I was so shocked. I was so surprised how I've made it to where I am today. So, Angel, tell us about just tell us anything you know about people, self-discovering, and talent.
all right. Thank you very much once again. Your story is a very amazing one. A lot of times, just like you said, you didn't actually know that you were such an amazing speaker, but then it was people around, your course
Yeah,
mates and classmates who discovered, and then they helped you. So that's a very, very amazing one. I'm grateful for you, and it's exciting, seeing young people like you who are blazing the trail for other young people like us to follow. I'm grateful. So
thank you
I
so
would
much.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, like you said about self-discovery, purpose discovery, and talent, I would say that these things are really, they go hand in hand. They are quite interconnected, all right? But
Yeah,
however, yeah, however, self-discovery and purpose discovery, they are quite separate. They are not really the same thing. Self-discovery is discovering who you are as an individual, your strengths, your weaknesses, your emotional capacity, and all of that. So when you discover your strength, your weaknesses, your emotional capacity, then you'll be able to know how to handle yourself. All right. With self-discovery, when you understand that you're a very emotional person, you are so moved easily by your emotions, then you structure your life in such a way that your emotions will not come in the way and destroy the future you're trying to build. All right. If you know that you're
yeah,
a kind of person who is too secretive, that even when you're going through hard times, you hardly open up, and it can make you very prone to depression, then you know you have to build a circle of friends around you who you trust and who you can open up with. That is it about self discovery. Who am I as a human being? What gets me angry? What excites me? How do I react in so and so situation? That is just like understanding yourself as an individual. And I'll say self discovery and purpose discovery, they are almost the same thing, but there are some differences there. All right. Then back to my story about purpose. When I started trying to find out what exactly my purpose is, aside reading, I talked to people. I talked to people around me and I told them that I needed help because it was getting very much on me. I felt useless, that I wasn't doing anything really much on earth. And I'll tell you that it's one something that someone told me that I can never ever forget. Actually twisted all of her advice. I shortened it into that quote that says that purpose discovery is a journey. All right. Now, I want
yeah,
to say, young person listening to me, right now, you may be trying to discover purpose. It's really difficult. The thing is, start doing something. Clarity comes whilst you are in it. If you keep on waiting, you sitting down, waiting for your purpose to come to you as an open book one day, the thing is that you might wait forever. All right. Ma'am Edwina Edel was said in one of her newsletters that I subscribe to, that clarity comes in working. Whilst you're doing, then you begin to see clearer. You begin to see things much more clear than you used to see them. Just like you were really a shy person, but then the opportunity came out for a speaking engagement in your school and you dived for it, and then that is how you started uncovering yourself gradually. So it's very important that every young person know this. You may not have found your purpose, but you can do something. If you can write funny stories that pass across meaning, everyone will not be like me, who is straightforward. I just write and I post on Facebook. So for some people, it may be that theirs is in form of memes and in form of short,
yeah,
funny stories. It's a skill. You post it. It may be that what you try to do is in form of skits, short skits that pass across a message. Start from somewhere. With time, as you continue to advance, you begin to gain clarity. You begin to see, oh, so I can do this also. Let me add it to this. All right. Another thing about purpose discovery being a journey, not a destination, is this: it can evolve, it can grow. All right. I was going through Facebook today and I saw a post of a lady. She wrote about Tauma, Marianne. That's Miriam. I don't really know the rest of the name. Tauma, that we all know as a comedian. Tauma said she
yeah,
never to go into comedy. She just wanted to learn editing of videos. But then with time, she felt that, I'm actually good with comedy. Why not add it to it? And then with the skills I have, I can edit my videos. And you know that she has millions and millions of views. So you may start with writing, but you may not end up a writer because you found clarity. Things are now much more clear. You now find out that you're actually meant to be a public speaker, or you're actually meant to be a writer who writes to entrepreneurs, who writes to small business owners, who writes to people who sell so and so things. That's one very important thing about purpose discovery, self-discovery. Now, the place of talent cannot be overemphasized. because I strongly believe that every single person created on earth has one talent or the other. All right. I never really knew I was a speaker. The thing that actually opened me up to that part of my life is the fact of the class I attended, Advanced Scale Up Initiative. So that's how people began to recognize, and they were like, "Wow, you're good, you're good. Tell me about it. How were you able to pull through?" All right. So talent is very, very important. Talent is extremely important in the path to purpose. When you find out a talent you have, you can wield it. You can begin to use it to inspire people. Like I said, or this is a new thought actually, that the world is now very small space. It is like a global village. So with social media, you can actually put what you're doing out there with very little effort. You prepare your skits or your short write-ups, and then you post it and you start inspiring people. So that's the relationship between your talent, your purpose discovery, and then the discovery of yourself as an individual.
Hmm. That is awesome. That is awesome. So when it comes to discovering your talent or discovering your talent, what are the things you can do to discover your talent? Maybe like me when I discover my talent, I think being shy was part of it. I was always shy. I was always like, God, I really want to go out of my shell. I was there was a time that I regretted being shy. I was just like, I can't be shy. I want to be a person that once I enter a place, people will hail my name. There are some people like once they enter a place, hi Esther, welcome. You make friends easily. But at some point, when I discover myself, I realized that being shy is very, very important because it, you know, shy person, when you are shy, when you are a loner, like me, I'm a loner person. Like I love my space. I love being alone. And then while I was alone, I had enough time. I had enough time to think about myself, to think about what are the things that I need to do. So quiet time is part of talent or self-discovery. So can you tell us like things that you can do, like things that you can do to discover yourself or your talent? Like what I said, quiet time is part of it. When maybe you go to a place that is very quiet, you sit down and then you start thinking about yourself, you start thinking about your purpose, you start thinking about your talent, your interest, and your reason why you were created, why you are
For
on earth. So tell us the things that someone can do, the person that is listening to you, what they can do, the youth, what they can do to discover themselves, like how they can discover themselves.
All right, thank you very much once again. Like you said, the very first key to discovering your talent is having time alone for introspection, having time alone where you get to stay on your own and you reflect on your life. You ask
Yeah,
yourself questions. What can I do? What do I know I'm good at? What do I know that I really want to spend the rest of my life doing? What can I do? What am I good with? Am I good with words? There are some people, unlike you, they find it very easy to meet people. They come to a place newly and they already have 10 friends in 2 hours and they can relate with everybody there. That's a talent because everyone doesn't
yeah,
have it.
your talent.
Yeah, it is. And you know that with that kind of talent, you can develop human relationships easily.
Yeah,
And you can find yourself, if you wield it wisely or properly, you can find yourself in a community of people who would help you rise. All right. Another key way to discovering your purpose is to ask your friends and your family around. Asking your friends and family around will help you to uncover those things that you didn't really know that was there. All right. There are some people that you don't know, but people around you, they are noticing. Once again, I have to refer to your story. You felt you were really shy, but you had classmates, you had classmates. They could see what it is that you have inside of you, and they were willing to invest in it because obviously they were always calling on you for every presentation, every quiz. All right. So that is the place of family and friends in the discovery of purpose or your talent. Another thing is to read books. You can read books to see if there are ways you can discover your talent, to see certain things that certain people did. Just reading books opens up your mind and your imagination. And there is so much you can get from reading books. It can help you to uncover your talent. You get to see things that were not there previously. It's a very, very important factor.
Like when I normally tell my student, like when you want to discover your talent or yourself, you want to discover yourself, get back to like go back to your secondary school report cards. When you pick up your report cards, you now sit down and check the subjects you were really good at. That is in the part of discovering talent. You check, maybe you were always good at English, you were always good at um economic or social study. I with checking your secondary school certificate, sorry, report card also is good for self-discovering. Yeah, it can actually help one to discover what he or she is good at, and being open to change, being open to change and so on. So Angel, just tell us anything. I'm enjoying the discussion. Let's just tell us anything that you want us to learn from you.
All right, thank you very much once again. Like you said, it's very important also your academics. Going through your report card, they can give you an insight. All right. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know I'm this accounting. Probably this is what I'm meant to do. Okay, there are some people that no matter how much they fail every other subject, so and so subjects, they are always doing very well in it. It is a sign that they may be headed in that direction. It is a sign that they may be headed so and so path. All right.
yeah, yes,
How
you're right.
Yes, that's it. But sometimes it may not be so easy. I think it was Albert Einstein that said that if you judge a fish by its, or if you judge, I don't know how he said it, I think if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend the rest of its life believing that it is a fool. So sometimes the educational system can be very generalistic.
Yes,
Everybody's made
yes,
and so subjects, even when they understand it or when they don't understand it. So you see that it's only certain people with very high IQ that are rising, that are doing well, while some other people who may be, good in other fields like marketing, who may be good with cars, going into mechanical engineering, you see them falling low and low on the rung of the ladder. However, that your point is very, very salient. Go through your report cards. If you're doing your best in your academics, you will see that some subjects are standing out. Personally, for me, I don't think I ever got a B in English all through my secondary school days. I was always very, very good in English. And also Igbo. I'm very good with my native language, though most people don't know. They almost say I'm telling lies, but I'm very good with Igbo. I've been good with both writing and speaking. So it's a
yes,
very good so it's a very, very good, way to identify your talents. Another way you can ask your mentors or people around. And another way I would say you can take time to pray. When you pray, certain things that you don't know, they are revealed to you. I will refer to your story once again. You said you took time to ask God. Sometimes when you pray, to be sincere with you, you wouldn't see an angel flapping with wings, but an idea
yes,
will just you get an idea. Why not do this? Why not go into this business? Why not start making clothes? You're such an amazing fashion designer. Why not set up a class where you tell people what colors will match their skin tone? All right. I think back then in my secondary school days, there's a subject, a particular topic in home economics where we get to learn combination of colors and clothing so that we can avoid figure faults for people who have very long neck or short neck. There's a way you dress and you conceal those, errors in your natural body figure. So these are things you can go to look deep into yourself. What can I do? Ask yourself. I think it's very important for you to ask yourself first before going any other place. Ask, stay with yourself. What can I do? There must be something I can do. There must be something I can do, and I have to find it. It may be building short stories or writing love letters for people to their loved ones. It can be something being creative, being imaginative. All right. All throughout my days in secondary school, I must tell you, even till now, I cannot draw. No matter how hard I try, the things I draw on paper, they are horrible. They are very, very, very. I tell
the
you,
thing is,
Yeah,
Me
so
too.
bad.
Me too. I can't draw. I don't have that talent. I don't even, but I have the passion for drawing. Whenever I see drawing, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I wish I was the one. Those things will have potential too. Anything you
Yeah,
feel like, you always wish I was this, I wish I was that. Is that is actually your direction. So whenever I see drawing, I'll be like, oh my God, Esther, what are you doing with your life? I really wish I can draw, seriously. So because if I want to draw just ordinary pen, I can't draw. The drawing will be so horrible that it's fine.
so your own is a very different case because myself is I can't draw and I've decided to make peace with that fact that I can't even draw a
Yeah,
curve perfect. But then in my secondary school, I had friends, male friends, and most especially these guys, they can draw so perfectly. I have a friend his name is actually I think I have to omit his name for privacy reasons, and I have
yeah,
his here in my house. I would pay him and he would draw me. I have a portrait of myself here in my house. He drew me. I sent him my picture. So that's a talent, an
yeah,
amazing
yeah.
talent, very amazing one. So that those are the ways you can discover your talents, find out what you're supposed to do. So far so good.
Is marketing a skill, or like, there are some people that they are very good at talking, they are very good at making friends, they have this they can easily persuade people. I think that is also a talent that someone needs to discover, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like people, like I said previously, who have this ability to make friends so easily. They can easily make friends, every little thing, they're excited and they can convince people. Marketing is for them. Unlike
Yeah,
me, I would say I'm a very formal person. I don't have that ability to persuade people. I really lack it. All right. So for those people, it's a very amazing skill. It's something that they should invest in. They should try to tread on that path all the more. However, I want to say another thing about talent and purpose discovery. All right. For you are a quiet person, and I would say most people here are they may be reserved. Sometimes
yeah,
when you discover your purpose, you may find out that your purpose wants you to walk in a path that you're not really comfortable with. That is walking outside your comfort zone. You'd have to do so. You may be a very, very quiet person, but you discover that your purpose entails that you talk to people. What will you do? Will you let go of your purpose because of the fact that you're so quiet and reserved? No, you have to do the needful. You have to begin to stretch yourself. That's one thing about purpose. It will stretch you. It will drag you out of your comfort zone more often than not. You'll be forced to, take yourself to the horizons. You'll be forced to stretch to your limits because of your purpose. Sometimes your purpose will align with your natural personality, but other times it
yeah,
will not. All right. You won't tell people when they invite you for a speaking engagement that you're an introvert, that you can't come. It will sound very funny. So that is where personal development comes also. So you now know you have to handle yourself as an introvert, the stage fright, the inability to flow well with people. You have to organize yourself and tread that path. Organize yourself and train yourself to a level where you can meet up with the demands of the path of your purpose. It's very important.
very, very important. I told someone that um being able to arrange your house, there are some of us that when we go out to somewhere, immediately we come back, our handbag will be in the kitchen, our shoe will be in the sitting room, while our wig cap might be in the toilet. So I told someone that having the ability to arrange stuff, like self management, is skill, is a talent, that is a skill. Like, you can born with it, and you can actually learn it, because that is what they call self management. And you can also, like, convert it into making money. Am I correct by saying such thing? Working in an hotel as an hotel manager is actually part of that. When you be able to organize a place, they can invite you to an event where you'll be able to manage the canopy and all those stuff. So, am I right when I say that self management is part of talent, or you can also learn it as a skill?
Yes, I agree with you. All right, self-management, it can come as a talent. But like I said previously, if your path calls you to that direction, you have to learn it. There are four major personality types. We have the sanguines, the choleric, the phlegmatic, and the melancholy. The last two, these are the introverts. They are quite good with arranging themselves and putting themselves together in an orderly manner. But for the first extroverts, most especially the sanguine, they can be so disorganized and scattered.
Disorganized.
Yes. However, if you find out that this is the path you're treading, you have to put yourself together and organize yourself. All right. You can only, as you said, organizing other people if you're into hotel management. Hotel management is not just about managing the hotel in itself. No, a hotel on its own is building. What actually makes it a hotel is the services that the people render to keep the place running, is it not? So self-management goes even way beyond managing yourself. You have to be able to manage yourself properly and then manage people. Managing people can be very difficult. You have to manage the ones who are introverts, manage the ones who are extroverts, manage the ones who are rude, who are sassy. You try to balance leadership, you try to keep things in order even when you are not there. So self-management and even management of people around you is a very, very important skill. Some people have it naturally as a talent, but I think I would say that every person, every individual needs to learn this skill, either on a small scale so that you can relate to your friends and your family without any issues, or on a large scale so that you can relate with people from different walks of life and you can be able to see things from their point of view and flow with them. So I really think so. You're right when you say it's a talent, but when you see that you need it as a skill, please go ahead and get it. If possible, get it
Yeah,
before you.
you know, talent can be can you can born with talent, and you can also learn it as a skill. I understand that. So how about accounting? There are some people that are very good at mathematics, like, oh my goodness, they can calculate. Is that one part of talent or a skill? Can someone actually discover his or herself as, maybe you just discover yourself that you are very good at accounting? Is it kind of something that someone can boldly say that, my talent is accounting?
I would not really say yes and no, because I would say my mom, from my elder sister, my sister said my mom has been very good with accounting. All right, so she really helped her. But I would say that accounting as a subject, you would have to learn it. But for sometimes it can come to you as a talent you're born naturally with. All right. So you already know that maybe you'd be into business or you'd go into accounting as a profession and you'd be very good with it. Also for mathematics, yeah, of course, I've seen people in my secondary school. For every other subject, they don't know, but for mathematics, formulas and all of that, they are very, very good with it. So it can also come as a talent. But then for people like some of us who are not so amazing with mathematics, would you say because you're not good with mathematics, you will leave it and fail your WASI? No, you wouldn't.
No, of
To
course.
yourself and learn it. Even my mathematics teacher in our secondary school days, whenever I remember her, I just laugh, and it is well with her because then she was very strict with us, but she was a very amazing teacher. She was so much, strict with us that if we ask her a question that she believes we should know already, she just flog all of us and our brain will reset by. So that's it. I would say with or without it, you have to learn that skill. If it comes to you as a talent, mathematician, accountant, fine. We thank God for you. That's really amazing. But then even if it doesn't come naturally to you, you have to settle down and learn it,
Learn. Yeah.
teachers, subject. So you see that another part of purpose discovery is learning, knowledge,
Learning.
and knowledge. One thing is that knowledge and learning helps your growth. It helps you to grow rapidly. It helps you to grow in ways that you can't even imagine. And I tell you this from experience. So for some subjects, yeah, people can be naturally born with it. But even if you're not born with it, please learn it. Learn it.
Yeah, right. It's true. So when it comes to talent, gifts, and skill, like, can you differentiate skill, talent, and gift? Like, because most of the youth, they are very confused when it comes to, they don't understand the difference between talent, gift, and talent, gift, and skill. Yeah, they don't understand the differences between those three. Bro, so can you differentiate them and tell us maybe like what what talent is, what skill is, and what are the skill, what are the talent, what are you understand what I'm trying to say, right? It's just like, maybe for example, your gift might be gift of teaching. You can be gifted when it comes to enlightening. You can be gifted with speaking in tongues, and you can be gifted with praying, and a lot of things like that. So just tell us the differences between those three.
All right, thank you very much. So you asked for the difference between your talents, your gift, and your skill. Okay, I think I would start with skill. Your skill, first and foremost, I think it's more that it's actually in a range or in a place where you have to go and seek for it to find it. All right, a skill does not naturally drop on you, just like your talents and your gifts. You have to go and
Yeah.
seek, you have to go and subject yourself to
Mhm.
people who are experts in that particular skill that you desire to know more about. Okay, it's really, really important. That's the main difference. However, your talent and your gift, I think they go hand in hand to complement each other, because these things, you are literally born with it. All right, you need to work on it, but it will be quite easier for you to act out with your talent and your skill that you're naturally born with than someone who is not. All right. So the major difference is that your skill, you have to go look for it. All right. And as we know, there are two major skills. We have soft skills like writing, digital marketing, email marketing, and all of that. And then we have skills, hard skills like tailoring, hairdressing, and all of that, shoemaking, and the rest of that. All right. But for your talent and your skill, you have to go get it. Your talent and your gift, it's just natural. Sorry, it comes naturally to you. You can flow with it and all of that. But I would say that a very important key with your talent and your skill, or your gift, your talent and your hard work. It was still Ronaldo, one of the best footballers that we know, in our contemporary times. Still Ronaldo
Yeah.
said that hard work will beat talent if talent does not work hard. All right. So you see that you can be gifted with something, you can be really talented in something. But if you don't take time to work really hard to develop yourself in that area, you'd see that someone who is not even born with that skill and works really hard, that person is going to beat you whenever and wherever. All right, there are several footages of Cristiano Ronaldo where he will be in the pitch still practicing hours on end, even after other footballers have gone home. Sometimes he comes very, very early before any other footballer is there, and he's putting in the work. So hard work is very, very important. Both your desire to increase your skill, your desire to bring forth your skill and make it much more refined, and also in increasing your talent and your gift.
Okay. That is nice of you. So, Angel, what is your advice to the youth? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So, what is your advice? What can you tell the youth that are desperately searching for themselves, desperately searching for to discover who they are? So, what can you tell them? What are your advice to them, to the youth?
All right, I think the very first thing I will tell them is something that I've said separately through this video. They should understand that in the journey of purpose discovery, self discovery, discovering their skills, their talents, and their gifts, it is a journey. It is not just a one off destination. That's the first thing. And then, secondly, there will be challenges. Sometimes you discover that you're actually born a speaker, you discover that you're a stammerer. So how do you relate the two? A stammering person and a public speaker. See that that's a challenge. And then you have to walk consciously. consciously and work against the challenges, the turmoils and the trials that life throws your way in order to fully walk in your purpose. Walking in your purpose might be very difficult, and sometimes it might be a lonely path because you may
Yeah.
be called, your purpose may be a path that other people have never walked before. So these people, even people
You're
who are
very
above
right.
you look to for recognition and for validation. See that these people, they don't understand you. Some of them are even trying to dissuade you from your dream, from your passion and your purpose. So you see that that
Yeah.
change. So you have to be prepared for it. Your purpose is very, very important. The main thing, understand that it is a journey, one step at a time. Even if you have not discovered it yet, that little steps, there is something you can do. Understand also that what you can do must not necessarily be on social media. Your gifts may be helping young people around your area. You gather them, speak to them
Yeah.
on how to handle their emotions, now to handle their relationships with the opposite sex so that you don't do things that are wrong, that are out of bounds. You understand? It may also be the gift of going around to orphanages to give these children a desire to live again, to give them hope, even after their parents are no more. There's so many things you can do. There's so many talents. There are so many talents that have been invested in us, and we have to bring it out. I think finally, the final thing I'll say is this: no matter what happens, dear young person, wherever you are hearing me, no matter what happens, do not deny the world the opportunity to see you at your best. There is so much you can give to the world deep inside of you. Don't just see the world and then you go to the no, 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 no. Don't deny the world that opportunity. The world needs to see you at your best. Have a story to tell that will inspire lots of people. And then understand that if you don't work in your purpose, if you don't live that life you're meant to, there's so many other young people who will miss you. There's so many other young people who will follow if they don't get to hear you speak, if they don't get to hear your strength, if they don't get to hear of your challenges. So it's not enough to keep you walking. Thank you.
Yeah. Angel. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Esther.
so much. Um I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. You've done so well. You've done justice to the topic. Thank you so much, Angel. So
It's a pleasure. I apologize if I stuttered a bit. This is actually my first time, and it seems as though I'm on CNN. So you
yeah,
might
we
have
no no no. We are
that's
all
why.
good. We are learning every day. Learning, just like they said, learning never ends. So thank you so much for joining me, Angel. Today is actually my birthday, share. Today is my birthday. Just that I was not really good since morning, and then I was just like, let's just do this so that people will come up and people will just turn up. Thank you so much, Angel. I really appreciate that.
It's my pleasure,
Thank you.
Esther. I'm
Thank you so much.
so
So
grateful.
thank you so much.
Thank you,
All
Esther.
right. Bye bye.
Bye.